Okay, we are live and we are live because of the first T20I that is going to happen between England women versus West Indies women. As you all know, that this is a new era starting for England women's cricket, as you can say, and for Nat Sciver-Brunt, the new captain, and obviously Charlotte Edwards, the new coach. And Tushadi will join us. We'll discuss about that. And as we have promised you guys that not only on India match days, will come on different series on England women's cricket and different series. Like this is a huge series in the context of the World Cup because we know that the series is going to start with three T20Is, but following that they will play three ODIs also. And we all know that in few months time there is a ODI World Cup in India and England, one of the top teams to look forward. And hopefully it's a new start for them under a new captain. We all know Heather Knight stepped down from the captaincy after that horrible Ashes series, where England failed to win a single match across three formats of the game in T20I series, in ODI series, and obviously in Test, in one of Test also the historical Test. But overall, it was a disaster of a series for them, and now it's a fresh start for them under a new coach and obviously a new captain. So discussing that only we have come live, and Tushari will join us in some time. But okay, before moving to some comments, you guys can comment and ask us. But before moving to that, I would like to discuss the squad. Uh, Obviously, for England, the T20 squad, obviously, Nat Sciver-Brunt, the captain, Emily Arlott, Tammy Beaumont, Lauren Bell, Alice Capsey, Charlie Dean, Sophia Dunkley, Sarah Glenn, Amy Jones, Heather Knight, Paige Schofield, Lindsay Smith, E.C. Hong, Danny White Hodge. So, I will say, lots of familiar names I will say that you always see in England's lineup, and obviously most of them were recently seen in the WPL. Also, Nat Sciver-Brunt was the part of the winning squad of Mumbai Indians, and she was the, if I'm not wrong, she was the highest run scorer also, the Orange Cap winner. And Sophia Dunkley, Tammy Beaumont, Lauren Bale, Alice Capsey, Charlie Dean, Sarah Glenn, former captain Heather Knight, all are familiar names. Good to see Easy Young back in contention. Personally, I like her. She bowls pretty decently. I am quite surprised that after that first season for Mumbai Indian, she has not been managed to get some chances in WPL. So it will be great to see how she does if she gets more opportunity. Okay, but their star spinner, or you can say the all rounder, Sophie Eccleston is not there. She's playing the ODI, but I think some injury conscience is there, and that is why new coach Charlotte Edwards has decided to not to include her. But I'm definitely sure she is going to make a comeback, and she is a huge part of the squad that is going to be announced for that, particularly for the ODI World Cup. For the ODI squad, they have named again Nat Sciver-Brunt captain, Alice Davidson Richards, Emily Arlott, Tammy Bowman, Lauren Bell, Cat Cross, Charlie Dean, Sophia Dunkley, Mahika God, Sarah Glenn, Amy Jones, Heather Knight, Emma Lamb, and Lindsay Smith. Mahika God, we all know, left-arm pacer, Indian origin, so that's an interesting connection there. Sarah Glenn is also making a comeback after an injury, so it will be interesting how she does. She has been playing some domestic matches, what I have gone through recently. So she's looking good and she's ready to make a comeback. So interesting, but not only for England, for West Indies also. Sorry, for West Indies also, there are some stars players are missing like uh, Chanel Henry. I think we all know who is Chanel Henry after the knock she played for UP Warriors in WPL, in the recent WPL, and she played decently well for West Indies in the recent tour of India also. So I think Chanel Henry is missing due to an injury, and obviously the world boss Deandre Doughton is also missing. So huge two setbacks for West Indies ahead of this series. Obviously, Haley Matthews is there to lead them again once again, and we all know that they have not managed to get a place in the upcoming ODI World Cup. They failed to get a place to the qualifier, so that's a huge setback already for them. So it's a fresh start for them also, a fresh cycle. The captain remains same, but still, at least they will look to you know have a good start by winning at least some matches in this series, if not the whole series. at least some matches in this series so that it will give them a major boost going forward. If I'm not wrong, after this series they're going to play, I think, South Africa in West Indies in home conditions. So in England, we all know that things are going to be very tricky. It will be very difficult for them. But still, if they manage to pull out at least some wins here and there, I think that will give them a major boost ahead of that home series against South Africa. But when it comes to the West Indies squad, it is Helly Matthews captain, Shemaine Campbell vice captain, Alia Elene, Zahazara Claxton, uh, Effie Fletcher, Cherry and Fraser, Shabika Gajnabi, Janilia Glasgow, uh, Rialena Grimond, Zaida James, Kiana Joseph, Mandy Mangru, Asmini Munsiar, Karishma Ramharak, Stephanie Taylor. Some new names are also there. Stephanie Taylor is an experienced name. Even Karishma Ramharak, Kiana Joseph, Afi Fletcher, Alia Eleni, these are all familiar names when it comes to West Indies women's cricket recently, but there are some names like new name, like I'm mentioning. There are like what's the name? Yes, I'm mentioning. One second. Uh, some new names are there who are like uncapped players. So that will be a huge opportunity for them. Yes, Zahazara Claxton and Rielen Agrimon. Okay, so these are the names that are uncapped right now, and so they might be given a chance in this series. So it will be interesting how they do if they get a chance. Okay, somehow I'm not getting the comment right now. I'm not seeing any comment. Some issue. It's raining here heavily, so some net issue maybe. But for overall, I think for England, it's a new start and it's a very good combination we are going to get. I think in the form of as a captain Nat Sciver-Brunt and obviously as a head coach Charlotte Edwards. See, Charlotte Edwards is a serial winner. We can say as a coach, she has won I think everything, every tournament she has won as of now in domestic. In WPL, we have seen two titles in 3 years for Mumbai has been superb. And uh, before the last head coach of England, you know, Jones, Mr. Jones was there. So before him, also reports were there that Charlotte Edwards might become the new head coach of England women's team, but somehow she didn't become. But now the time is here, the new era starts. So it will be interesting to see how she and Nat Sciver-Brunt does as a captain. For Nat Sciver-Brunt, I think it's a huge opportunity. As a batter, as an all-rounder, she has been one of the topmost and top informed cricketers for England in the last, I think, 4 or 5 years. And now with an added responsibility, it will be nice to see how she responds. See, when responsibility comes, there is only two ways. Either you prosper more, you grow into the game more, you take the responsibility on your shoulders and perform your team, lead your team from the front. Otherwise, you crumble under pressure. The pressure will be there. You know, not only your batting or your bowling as an all-rounder. Now the team selection, everything you have to face the media and all. One loss here and there, you have to face the hard questions and also there's a lot of things that you have to face as a captain, and all the captains have to face that. So as a new captain, I think she will look to get a good start because I think that will help her to settle into that role quickly compared to if she loses some matches. But see, I think we all know considering the form of West Indies women and currently the England women and obviously the names that are available for this series, England are starting as favorites, and especially in home conditions. They are one of the favorites team to against any team. Maybe against Australia or maybe inform South Africa, maybe something different you can say. But otherwise, even India will come after this series. Even that time also, India will find it very hard. It will be not easy. Obviously, we have some players that can make some difference in England conditions also, with in the bowling and obviously in the batting department also. But still, England will start that tournament also as favorite. So again, as I was saying that both Charlotte Edwards and Nat Sciver-Brunt, that's a new era to start, and they they will look to start this series in a positive note because it will not be it will make things easy for them. Uh, See, when you win as a team, it makes easy to get settled in, especially when you come new under a new role. And it's a new role. At least they need some time to settle in. They need to know the players who are going to be in for their plans ahead of the World Cup, as I mentioned, especially the ODI World Cup. There is coming on, so that will be interesting to see. And Sophia Kristen, as I mentioned, she is not here in the series, but she will definitely make a comeback. She is doing well in the ongoing. I think something one day tournament is going on. I am forgetting the full name. I think some one day tournament is going on, and she is doing well. But due to some injury issues, or maybe I think she has been told to take some rest, or maybe that she will not be picked for this series, but definitely she is making a comeback. When you are playing a World Cup, ODI World Cup in India, and in those subcontinent conditions, Sophia Kelston is your go-to bowler. And for Nat Sciver-Brunt, I think she will be the go-to bowler at any phase of the game. And she is a tremendous, tremendous player. She can bat at down, lower down the order, she can smack the ball, and obviously she can bowl and take 3, 4 wickets with ease if she is in that rhythm. So that speaks a lot about her, and she will definitely come back into the mix. Okay. I don't know why no comments are showing me. I don't know, some technical glitch, or maybe I will then wait for Trishadi. I think Trishadi can come and then can take those comments. But but what about West Indies? For West Indies, as I said, that this is they are coming after a huge setback, that they are not going to be a part of the upcoming World Cup. See, West Indies historically has been one of the top nations in cricketing world. Even if you consider a few years back in women's cricket also, West Indies cricket was one of the top, if not the one of, if not the top 2 or 3, at least they showed some fight at international stage, even World Cups also. But in recent times, they lack that, and obviously, when you do not qualify for a World Cup after playing qualifiers, you lose. With all due respect, Pakistan and Bangladesh won that tournament, and it was expected that maybe Pakistan and West Indies will, come through to from the tournament. But unfortunately, it turned out to be Pakistan and Bangladesh. And we all know the last match they need to hit a boundary, but they hit a six, and ultimately that proved that they are not going to. So a barest margin. I think it's like the net run rate difference with Bangladesh was like the point were same. I think the difference was like plus 0.010. So you can understand the barest margin. So that is the fact. Unfortunately, they are not going to be part of the ODI World Cup. But okay, I think Tushadi is here. Yes,
Hi.
Tushadi is here, full drenched. Lot of rain here.
Oh,
full,
it's
full, full.
raining as if you know they will wash out the entire planet.
it was forecasted that the rain might happen in Mumbai in the IPL match, but now the rain is happening. Apart from that place, rain is happening everywhere.
There, Delhi wickets are raining. There also something is raining, but Delhi
Yes,
wickets.
yes, yes. That is done. It's Mumbai. Mumbai is going to be the fourth team. That is done and dusted. So Mumbai is
Then
going
why
to
play
qualify.
the rest of the matches? Just bring the playoffs in front
Yes,
and say,
and khatam karo.
बहुत
Yes.
हुआ.
बहुत हुआ. Yes, but Tushadi, a new era starts, and I know personally how excited you are to this era to start. Yeah, Nat Sciver-Brunt as a captain, and obviously Charlotte Edwards as coach. So how do you see this era, the new era for England, starting from tomorrow? Hey, sorry, from today. Sorry.
That's what I thought. What happened? Yeah, I think you can already see that fire from the moment that Charlotte Edwards has joined. The statement that she has given, that there will be minimum standards on the field for the cricketers, for the English women's team. The other thing what I liked is she said, I don't want to do too much. I don't want to bring too many changes before the World Cup. But coming next year, there will be a lot more changes. Right now, I want them to work on their individual. Work on them individually. But also, Sophie Eccleston not being there, even though she has taken part in a domestic game, uh, the reason being not having game time. I would want to read under the lines and say she's not game fit, not injury wise.
Hmm.
I think she has been asked to. I think, she has
Hmm.
been asked to
Yes.
shed a few kilos. Um, what it does is England, if you remember in the Ashes, Nehashish, we have had lives and we have had
Hmm.
chats, right? We have
Yes.
been constantly talking about how we cannot believe that an England side is fielding this badly. And that part, I'm sure, will change from today. That's one.
Hmm.
Point number two, the other change which I expect is I don't think you can blame Heather Knight for the 16-nil loss. And that is exactly what a Nat Sciver-Brunt or, even Charlotte Edwards has done. The first statement that Charlotte Edwards did is it's a huge thing, Heather Knight has led us for nine odd years and she has done so much for the team. So the moment you give respect to Heather Knight and you feel her, make her feel included in the team, you have already made that. The thing that England was missing in Ashes was it wasn't a team. And
Yes.
here, the first few statements has already told you that it's a team. I'm sorry, there's thunder, lightning, everything, all effect my light is giving. I have changed the bulb, but I don't know. Probably it's a little loose. So yeah, getting back to the point, I think what Charlotte Edwards and Nat Sciver-Brunt must have spoken to each other at the very beginning is look, we have to get the girls together and make them play as a team.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. In the
Like
meantime, England women has won the toss and opted to field first. So Nat Sciver-Brunt has won her first toss as regular captain. So that's a very good start for her. Okay. But when it comes to playing 11, obviously it's Danny White Hodge, Sophia Dunkley, Nat Sciver-Brunt, Heather Knight, Amy Jones, Alice Capsey, Emilia Allott,
heavily out loud.
Easy Ong, Charlie Dean, Lindsay Smith, Lauren Bell. Perfect team to share good balance.
Um, I'm very excited to see Lauren Bell and Issy Wong, especially
Hmm.
Lauren Bell because I thought Lauren Bell was quite impressive in the Ashes. Yes, maybe she did not win it for England, but then she was very, very impressive. And you and I have been speaking about it. In fact, I
Hmm.
had actually, during the Ashes itself, I had said that when India tours England, Lauren Bell will be a tough candidate to face,
Yes.
especially because the advantage that Lauren Bell has is anyway, England and Australia pitches provide you good bounce, right? On top
Yes.
of
And
that,
height.
yes, on top of that, Lauren Bell's height, please don't. Yeah, on top of
Yes.
that, Lauren Bell's height, I think, is a huge advantage. So when she bowls a short ball and she has a mean bouncer, so I'm very interested. Issy Wong, in fact, I was surprised, Snehashish, that she did not get a team in
WPL.
WPL
Hmm. Yes,
because I thought
we
she
discussed
had
in
bowled
the
very well.
live shows that we are really surprised. Even after so many injuries, also no team approached hard.
Yes,
Hmm.
absolutely. And I think one of the reasons for that probably is she has a little bit of the same issue that a Darcy Brown has. Not consistent in their line and
Hmm.
lengths. There will be spells when you would go, wow, what a beautiful, um, spell. But the very next day, they might look the most ordinary available. England batting, I think, is pretty much settled. Danny White Hodge for
It's a very
RCB.
strong batting line.
Yeah,
Very strong.
absolutely.
Alice
But
Capsey will give you with the ball
but
also.
Snehashish, do you expect that captaincy pressure might play on Nat Silverbrand? Because look, whoever is there in the team, you have to accept the fact that Nat Silverbrand is your main batter.
Yes, absolutely. And see, Trishadi, I think player will not agree or might not say on camera, but the pressure will be there. That is, no, you cannot deny that the pressure will be there. And I was speaking that only before you came that for Nat Shiva brand, you have to accept that she has been, your consistent performer for the last 3, 4, 5 years, maybe across all the formats. And not only for England, in every other tournament, CWPL or any tournament you pick up, she is the the top performer, one of the top performers. So I think uh, as a player, you need to focus only two things. If you are all rounder, you need to focus on your batting, bowling, or maybe fielding. But now, as a captain, apart from all those three departments, now you have to keep an eye, the team combination, the players you want according to the, that combinations where you are going to play. And obviously, you have to face media. If you lose any matches, you have to face hard questions also. So the mental pressure is also there, not only the game,
Correct.
but from the
Correct.
game, you have to handle all this pressure also, beautifully. So I think that will be an added pressure. But I think with all the experience right now, Nat Shiva, I think this is the perfect time for her to be, the regular captain for England. And I think right person has got the baton from
Right
him.
person, right.
Yes, for
Of
England we know
course.
the right person as of now, but for India we don't know. Yes, but 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 hopefully a good start is always there. And I think this series we all know that England starting as favorites. For West
Right.
Indies, I think any win across all six matches, I am saying three T20s and three ODIs, any or one or two wins here and there will give them a major boost ahead of the home series against South Africa in coming months. But I think England will start as favorites and will end up, winning this series. I think comfortably.
It is also, we are talking about new era for England. It is also a new era for West Indies,
West Indies,
especially because
yes.
if they have to think of making any sort of comeback and a statement comeback, not even qualifying for the World Cup must be a huge jolt. But in that qualifier, they have shown as usual that they have potential. But
Hmm.
the question still remains, will that potential be converted into anything that makes sense or not? Or, if that potential will eventually be a consistent performing team or not, we have to see. But something which I like, I don't know why is Stephanie Taylor out, but I do think that it's time that the team has to look ahead of Stephanie Taylor. And it is
Hmm.
nothing against Stephanie Taylor, but see,
Yes.
everybody has
She,
to
she hit that six instead of four. That is why she is not getting into team. Ah,
think of this: you're in a team meeting and somebody's telling you, Snehashish, you're not in the playing 11.
yeah.
That's fine, but why am I not in the playing 11? Because you hit a six instead of a four.
You were dropped.
But the other interesting part for West Indies is Shemaine Campbell is the vice captain. She's also
Hmm.
not in the playing 11.
Oh yes.
Why have they become
Ah.
KKR?
uh, West Indies already showing some tricks ahead of the game, even before stepping on the field. But I think there is a debutant. I think it's Realina Grimond. Grimond is making her debut, and obviously Mandy Mangu is there, Alia Elene, Jaida James, Kiana Joseph. Kiana Joseph, I think she's like the role that Sunil Nain plays for KKR as an opener. Kiana Joseph is kind of for this West Indies team.
Yeah.
The day
She's fun
she
to watch.
Yes, that the day she is in his rhythm and her batting, all the balls are hitting the middle of her bat. She is going to score like this, 50 from 20.
She has
But
she has brute power. She has brute power, absolutely.
that knock I will not forget. That knock only came against England in that World Cup. Got yeah, knocked out England suddenly. So that was some knock. And suddenly for the next 2 days, everyone asking for Kiana Joseph interview.
Yeah.
What is Kiana Joseph? What is Kiana Joseph? Next match, she didn't score. Everyone forgot who is Kiana Joseph. So that is the fact. That is with Kiana
No, but
Joseph.
that is what I think Yuvraj Singh had said. No, this quote I will never forget. It was a life insurance ad or something of that sort,
Oh
in
yes,
which
yes.
the dialogue was,
जिस दिन
"जब
बल्ला
तक
चलेगा
जब तक बल्ला चल रहा है
जब
तब
तक
तक
चले
ठाठ है."
सही एकदम.
It's a very well known fact that till your bat is doing the talking or your ball is doing the talking, I mean, both ways, you are the king or queen of the world. But the moment it does not work, look at how Virat Kohli is treated. The moment he does not score, isko batting nahi aata. Sachin Tendulkar, people who have batted in streets are telling him, "अरे तेरा front foot defense अच्छा नहीं है." Sachin Tendulkar को बोल रहे हैं. So it's what it is, you know. And I think people woke up to Kiana Joseph and started screaming. The other part, of course, is comparison issues. Somebody woke up and suddenly saw Kiana Joseph batting and said, Chris Gale, Chris Gale. Arey,
Yeah,
Kiana Joseph is Kiana Joseph. You don't have to compare her to
wait,
Chris Gale.
wait.
But I
But
mean,
Tushadi,
yes,
how much important going to be for Haley Matthews after that setback, not getting a place in the ODI World Cup as a captain, as a leader, and obviously just like Nat Sciver-Brunt, she has been the topmost performer for West Indies across all formats in last 4 years. So how important this new start for her also as a skipper, as a player?
I'm actually a little worried. She might be a little exhausted mentally because she has been
Mm.
carrying this team for a long, long time. At the same time, there is a chance, Nehashish, that she will now start becoming desperate because it's not like she'll have a number of World Cups left in her.
Hmm.
It's not like Haley Matthews has started playing today or something of that sort. She's 27 years, so in another 4 year cycle. And I'm talking about ODI World Cup. T20 World Cup,
Yes.
there will be two because every 2 years there's a T20 World Cup, which means you might say 31 is too young. But what I'm trying to say, that by 31, if you still have to carry the team, then it's going to be a big issue. Yes, if you look at number wise, she might go for three more World Cups if
Yes.
I'm seeing 39 as the age. But mentally, I'm not 100% sure if a person can carry a team till that age.
And West Indies is so much dependent on her that you cannot rest
Absolutely.
give rest her in normal matches like against Ireland, or maybe you have to consider her again also in that kind of matches also.
Absolutely. Because without Haley Matthews, you cannot, um, give that, cannot put out a West Indies team. You cannot ask a West Indies team to play even a UAE probably. They will play like absolute, there'll be absolute harakiri there.
Mm,
Yeah, she's that big.
absolutely.
And the problem is, if then that happens, then how are you going to, you can't workload manage, and workload management always does not mean the number of overs a person is bowling or number of overs the batter is playing. Think of the mental exhaustion, think of the emotional exhaustion. She was crying like anything. Must have been so draining for her.
Yes,
Look
and
at Chamari
obviously
Atapattu now. Chamari Atapattu
yes.
now has got so much support.
Hmm.
A Sri
Perfect.
Lanka without Chamari Atapattu scoring is winning.
Hmm.
But that is not happening with Haley Matthews.
And just because of that support, now Chamidarabato coming to bat at number 4, and that giving Sri Lanka
Absolutely.
the balance. Hmm.
Absolutely. And she
That is
can
not
bowl
happening
when
with
she
West Indies.
wants to. And she can
Hmm.
bring herself to bowl also when she wants to
Yes,
because she has enough
yes.
spinners.
Hmm. Yes, that is not happening with West Indies. And obviously, for this series, the world boss, DN.in is not there due to injury. DN.in is not there.
She's mostly out for injuries only.
Yes, and I think another big loss, I think, in this England conditions, I think, is Chanel Henry. I think she would be
Oh,
very, very
huge.
important.
Huge.
Yes, yes.
I think a
Clean
huge
hitter,
loss.
obviously, and
And
obviously
both
with
her
ball.
skills, by the way. And both
Hmm.
her skills.
Yes, with the ball and obviously with the bat. I think that's a huge
Yes.
loss. Yes.
Especially in the
Okay.
T20Is. I mean, in the
Yeah,
ODIs, you
especially
would
the
still
T20.
expect that. Yeah, in ODIs, you will still. I mean, she might not be that effective, but in T20Is, I think as a bowler, as a batter, she would be effective. And after playing WPL, I think her experience, her exposure during WPL would have given her that much more confidence.
Yes. Oh, for those knocks for UP Warriors. No one expected. बाप रे बाप क्या बहुत मारा बाप रे बाप क्या मारा.
They
Oh.
sent RCB home. What else can you say?
Yes. Yes. Okay, Tushadi. It's almost 30 minutes. The match will start. So prediction, Tushadi. Then we will wrap it up.
England will win. I mean, if England doesn't, then I'll be then it's shocking. And I'm not saying that
how
West Indies is
how
bad.
how
It just
quick England can win? How quick England can
um I actually don't think so, because you also have to understand the kind of mental state that England will come from. But
win?
I do think that you will see a hungrier England, you will see a fresher England, and you will see an England which will know that if we don't give 1000% on the field, when we go back to the dressing room, there is someone who's going to stare at us. Because this is the reason I keep saying that get women's coaches for the women's game. They understand the intensity, they understand
Mm.
the emotional, the physical, the mental balance of the game much better than a men's coach does. And Charlotte Edwards is your best. She has been there, she has done it. She has come out of her bad form. She has taken England out of bad situations as a player, as a captain, and now as a
And as
coach.
a coach, she has won everything as of now. Every tournament she has won.
Absolutely. And I think she has made her look at her statements. They're firm statements. This is what we'll do, then this is what we'll do, then this is what will happen. This is the next year plan, this is right now plan, this is what happens for the World Cup.
Mm.
That clarity. I think John Lewis, I'm not going to whether he was a good coach or bad coach, because come on, just because of one Ashes, you can't say Lewis was a bad coach. I think
Yes.
yes, Lewis's term ended on a bad note, but sure, he was a good coach. But with Charlotte Edwards, I think now she has brought in a lot of freshness and a vision that, you know, from today onwards, I can say England has become something that England had lost in Ashes, has actually become a very, very strong contender for that ODI World Cup in India.
Hmm. Yes. Okay, but West Indies have started well. 5 runs in 3 balls. Already a boundary for Haley Matthews. So that's a good start for them. But already West Indies men didn't have a good start in UK. A few hours back, they got bundled out for 179 while chasing 304. Against whom? Against Ireland. So that's not a very good start for them.
See, this is the problem with West Indies.
Hmm.
One
Hmm.
day they will score 340 against India or
Yeah.
England or something of that sort, and you would be like, wow, what a team. The next day they'll be 40 all out.
I was shocked. I didn't check the score when I joined for this live. I was going through. I was shocked. What? West Indies got all out for 179 against Ireland while chasing 304. How? But somehow they managed to do that also. So let's see at least how much fight this West Indies women can give, because as we all know that we expect and we all know, when it comes to the team combinations and all, this England team is much superior than West Indies in at this
Absolutely.
moment, especially in these conditions. But we expect as a cricket lover that West Indies women will give a good fight, and because that
Correct.
will only be beneficial for the game, for the whole game, for them also, and also for the game. So let's see how they do. Obviously we'll come back for the next match, also the second match, and throughout the
Yeah,
whole series we will come back, as we have promised that not only on India match days, we'll come back on important series. And this is the important series, as we mentioned, because this is a new era start for England under Charlotte Edwards and Nat Sciver-Brunt. So let's see. Thank you, Trishadi. Thank you everyone for joining in. As of now, take care and goodbye.